What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, I don't know why I didn't make it on. When I open this bad boy up, is the one and only Jayce. Bro shot, great sweater.
Hey, all right.
Show it off a little bit more.
Yeah.
Nice. Quite cute. Quite festive. How are you on this fine Wednesday?
Very good, very good. Just got back from seeing some holiday lights, so got in my holidays festive.
Which holiday? St. Patrick's Day?
Christmas.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes.
You know, it threw me off with the green.
Yeah, hey, it's always green, especially when all these gifts come due.
Very good. Let's see here. Who all is here in the chat with us tonight? 80s kid from the 90s. Here it goes. Now's where the fun begins.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Tarpley.
What's going on, Blake?
What's up? What's up? Jeff, Jason, Chief. Chief is sick again. I think he's holding out for more money again, but or he might have been having a little bit too much Christmas cheer. Either way, he's a little laid up. So hopefully we'll see Chief next week. Hopefully, but you know, the way he's been going lately, it's not looking great.
It could be an end of year strike. We don't know.
Yeah, it's probably that he's got sick leave to burn, so he's just using it every Wednesday. We'll see. Movie crew assemble. Hopefully we'll make sure we have a Hulk in here somewhere.
I got it.
Even if we're missing that 30 seconds of fury. Blake says 80s kid from the 90s bazooka on sale at Amazon for $19. I got mine today. Yes, great deal. 80s kid, grab them. Can make it happen. Snake Eyes is here, and so is after him.
What's going on, guys?
Ryan Daly, what's up, guys? Checking in from a hotel outside of Cleveland. I can't even quit you guys during my holiday travels. Well, we're happy that you're here with us. And are we happy you're in Cleveland? Let us know.
I mean, it could be watching the Cleveland game, so.
Sure. Love the sweaters. Thank you.
Thanks.
I told Jayce, hey, make sure you wear your Christmas sweater today. We won't have a good reason to wear it next Wednesday. It'll look a little bit weird. I don't have too many New Year's sweaters, so it's just.
Yeah. You can only wear this once a year, and there's only so many holiday parties that they don't look at you strange if you're wearing a Star Wars sweater on. So
I think at a Halloween party you'd be able to do it.
Probably. Huh.
Did your sweater just jingle?
Yeah. Well, actually, my jacket probably jingled, but I think it's on beside me.
Gotcha. All right.
They make a quick change for the podcast.
We appreciate that. Well, let's just get into it. There's, of course, a lot of stuff going on. First up, I guess we need to tackle the minor bit of news on the Marvel front. And yeah, it seems like the MCU might just have a major problem. Jonathan Majors is gone, cut from Marvel as a result of his trial as a lawyer. What's your take? And did you think that would have happened?
Based on a lawyer, when they showed a video and they had old text messages, he was screwed. He had no chance. I mean, he did it. So there was it. I don't know if he could have cut a plea deal and kind of tried to make that go away, but it seemed like they had him right. You know, they had him dead to rights. He had no chance. And it's funny because if Marvel had that information, they would have cut him along with everybody else. I think this is one of the few times everybody else made the right move, unlike how them with Johnny Depp, and now they have to get back into Johnny Depp business and pay him a whole lot of money. This one looks like he's pretty much wrapped up for Hollywood at all.
You said that Marvel messed up, and I'm very curious what Marvel should have done. Loki season 2 was already in the tank. It was not a thing of, all right, guys, we're going to CGI this guy out of our show. All these episodes he's in, several of which he's the main figure, including the last episode, the season finale of Loki season 2. I think they were screwed with that in the sense of we're just going to have to run this thing. There's nothing else we can do.
You're probably right, because if they cut ties with him before Loki came out, even it would have been, we got to admit that we probably should have cut ties, but we aren't going to spend all this money, like I said, to CGI a new actor in here. So we had to we go with the probably right way of saying, hey, we're going to let the trial and the process play out, and it didn't cost them any more money, truthfully. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it instead of almost having a cloud over Loki season 2, they were almost able to weather a storm because Loki season 2 was so good without any controversy of them. Why didn't you do X, Y, and Z? Now it's, well, we can justify and say we let the legal process play out. Nobody can fault us for that. Well, I think that's best they could actually hope for.
Well, also, you can't knock the timing. I mean, the timing worked out perfect for Loki because the strike ended right when the season wrapped. So it's like, sorry, we can't take any interviews because it's done. It's out there. It's in the ether. So that worked out pretty well for him. They didn't have to do that awkward. So, what do you think about everything that's going on with Jonathan Majors? Well, we wish Jonathan the best and hope everything works out well for everyone involved in the case. I don't really have a lot else to say. It was a pleasure and a real treat to work with him. But
can't say that. No, you get. And that's the thing is, as soon as you go there, whoa! It was very much you had to be. This actually was one of the few times I'm sure the actors, like I said, very glad that they didn't have to make statements. They just, hey, we'll take some Instagram photos. We didn't know everything. It was, it was what it was. Unfortunately, the situation, as the jury saw it, was their verdict.
Afterchild says, now the multiverse is useless. Now, man, I'm not going to rerun my CD, my digital recording loop of what they should have done, even though I really could be that guy and say, I told you so they should have done this all along. But I don't think the multiverse needs to be useless. I think the way Loki season 2 ended, they kind of closed the loop on Kang as a villain, as a character anyway, where he doesn't, I mean, it's written in a way and it's executed where, okay, that was Kang's whole arc. He was the villain for Quantumania. He Who Remains showed up in Loki season 1 and he was around for Loki season 2, but that was it. His impact on this multiverse arc really is negligible. Yeah, they still have time to go to a new one.
Because you can say the sacred timeline is no more, which had Kang as this big bad. Now they're in a slightly different timeline where Kang is just a pocket character contained. There's no Council of Kang to worry about anymore. Just the one variant that was Kang the Conqueror. He's done, and there may be a couple other variants popping up, but they're no big thing. And again, you always here's the other fun thing is you can recast him.
Well, 80s Kid says, hey, who would you recast as Kang? Denzel Washington? No, not him. Maybe David Washington or Jonathan Boyega. Who would you want to recast? I know we've already had this argument. It feels like we need to recast these black characters in the MCU, these black dudes in the MCU. Who should we recast? And they didn't decide to do that with T'Challa. But I think they absolutely need to with Kang because Kang's a character that kind of needs to be redeemed, resolved as a real threat anyway. And I think recasting him with another actor is really the way to go. And he could blow off that Kang and go, that clown, he was a loose cannon. He kept popping off with the mouth, losing his temper. I am the actual Kang. Oh, shoot. He could do that really easily.
Again, because they I don't want to say they had a built-in loophole for Kang actors because they had the Council of Kang. Yeah, they look similar, but you could always see there was differences there. So you could just say whoever you make is the big Kang is the main Kang. It's Kang, that variant gone, wiped out. The Victor Timely one, he was what he was. I am now Kang evolved, whatever you want to call it.
Kang Immortus.
I think there's plenty of opportunity. I think what Gunner put down was he said Jonathan Boyega. I think he would be a very good actor to play Kang the Conqueror. I don't think he has beef with Disney because he hit the, hey, if Star Wars came around and had a good script, I might talk to him, which is probably meaning code. I probably already signed to Disney/Star Wars, but I can't admit that I signed to Disney/Star Wars. I think if you come up and say, hey, we're going to need you to fill this role, and we've done our background check of you. You were rock solid.
You're properly vetted.
You've been vetted. Whoever, I'm surprised somebody's head hasn't rolled for kind of not making sure all the T's were crossed and all the I's were dotted on that background check on other folks. So Jonathan
Boyega, he met old girl during Quantumania.
But I'm not, like, Rolling Stone had an article. I don't know what was what, but they said, oh, there was other people. I don't know. To keep this as, focuses on what we have and not my true opinion on everything. I think.
So you've been giving us a half opinion. Is that what you're saying?
I have definitely been giving you a half opinion. My more unfiltered opinion is not for your show because it has a little more PG, less PG wording to it.
What?
But I think Jonathan Boyega would very much be able to fill in, has the same kind of gravitas that I'm not playing games. You're going to take me as a threat. I think he could do a very good job in that, in the role of Kang.
John Boyega would be awesome in the role of Kang. 80s kid and Ryan have suggestions.
Well, what you guys?
Ryan goes, hey, go full circle and cast Terrence Howard as Kang. Hayes says Giancarlo Esposito is Kang. He may be done in Star Wars, so there's an option too. Yeah. I really like the John Boyega, John David Washington suggestions because Kang, and the crazy part with Kang is, this is where we see that whole it's still a comic book movie thing where you don't ever really have to see Kang's face. Kang in a comic book very rarely. Back in classic days, that really mattered in terms of great comic book material. We always saw him as Blueface. It wasn't like, oh man, let's see Kang unmasked. Let's see him take down his helmet and all. Nah, we didn't need that. I mean, seriously, all we have to do, watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Did Kang go, hey, I'm taking off the helmet and chilling, ready for shower time? No. So all we need is a really good actor. And if you have to, you can just CGI him if you really absolutely had to. But Kang, we don't need to see his face just to be like, oh, that's so-and-so. We're good. Yeah. We don't need that. And Blake says, Kang can be anybody. I don't think anybody really cared about Kang. At least I didn't. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Kang, and the way they developed Kang in the movies so far, who cares about who he is? Now, I will say that Jonathan Majors made Quantumania for me. He was by far the best part of that movie in terms of like, oh man, okay, Kang's cool. What's up with him? But I mean, he wasn't doing anything that was like, oh man, I gotta watch this movie.
Well, let's say this: he didn't hit the Michael Shannon. It's true. Yeah, it actually is true. He didn't hit the Michael Shannon yell to be heard for Man of Steel, which I hated. I thought
really hate Michael Shannon.
Honestly, because I actually like him. He did a show on Hulu where he was the father. It was with Nicole Kidman. I think he's actually a good actor, but I thought when the Zod we're used to is Terrence Stamp. And going from Terrence Stamp and Callum Blue. No, Callum, it was Terrence Howard. I mean,
Terrence Howard is
totally different there. But Terrence Stamp and then Callum Blue from Smallville. That was perfect Zod. And then when you had this yelling, I will find you.
It was one line.
One line, and that summed up my hatred of that character, that version of General Zod. Okay.
That hated the whole. Yeah, I mean, it didn't make any sense. And I know we talked about this for sure when it was announced that Kang was going to be on Ant-Man. I'm like, why is Kang the villain for an Ant-Man movie? And there's no way you can make that make sense because Kang should be fighting the Avengers in mass,
in
not
totality.
Ant-Man. Yeah.
I was just you could have done it where Kang wins. You didn't have to have it so Ant-Man won. You could have just said Kang won. He got out, and Ant-Man gets back in the real world and says, Avengers need to assemble. Kang's out. It could have now would have worked fine. But it's like this guy said he's beaten countless Thors, Captain America.
Stop right there. See, that's what I said before. If they put Thor in that Quantum Mania, a whole backdrop where it was Thor in that realm, the quantum realm, and not Ant-Man, maybe you do like you do some of the other ones and put Thor, Wasp, Ant-Man in there. I would have gone for 3 founding Avengers going after Kang, and then Kang whooping them, and Thor going, whoa, we have a problem. And the 3 Avengers, founding Avengers, go, this is not good. What do we do? I think it's time to call in the rest of the team. That would have been great. But having Ant-Man, who was, he can be a heavy hitter against other people, but it wasn't like Giant Man was going toe-to-toe with Thanos. He was beating up a ship, kind of a big giant character, which is awesome. I love Giant Man, and I definitely don't want to make it seem like he's a joke or a loser character. But if he beats Kang, then Kang looks totally different as a threat.
Kang losing to a bunch of ants made Kang a joke.
People decide there's just no way that would have made sense and played out. So I think that's what happened.
It was a bad call, Ripley.
A bad call. Hey, interesting enough, speaking of things that are bad calls, Aquaman and Lost Kingdom had some screeners. I didn't go to it because I don't care about Aquaman. And, I have to kind of have the whole oxygen mask Darth Vader rig when I go to theaters right now anyway. And I just wasn't going to do it for Aquaman. And I'm sure the 3D looked amazing and awesome. But then there's also that thing about a story, a script, and why am I still watching this movie? Because it doesn't count, doesn't matter. And apparently some, reviews have leaked out despite the fact that the embargo is not supposed to come out until tomorrow. Now, typically with comic book movies the company is feeling pretty good about, they go nuts. You can, so say that the screening's on a Tuesday, we're allowed to post our reviews midnight Wednesday or 3:00 Wednesday because they want to get people excited, get that buzz rolling, get that momentum coming through. Not so much. So if the embargo is on the day before it gets released, that is like your big maroon or crimson, if you're a Crimson Guard fan, sign that maybe things are not great with this. And apparently the people who have already started to leak their reviews are saying it's messy, it looks good, but the script lets it down. Not so great with the storyline. You may want to see it in 3D and all that. And then one guy says people were too hasty with their worst films in 2023 list because Aquaman 2 is painfully bad. Makes Ant-Man 3 look like Citizen Kane. What a terrible end to an already bad year for superhero films. Stay for mid-credit scenes that sums up the DCEU better than words ever could.
Why is that a thing? That doesn't even that makes no dang sense to have a post-credit scene. And the universe is over. It's wrapped. There's nothing you can do. They're not even hitting if Aquaman makes so much money, we'll save him and bring him to the next part of the DC universe. They're not even bothering with that. I'm not surprised, but I actually have to applaud Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is doing exactly what probably Flash needed to get more people and like, hey, there's good things about this. Not the lead actor, of course.
Do that,
but other people. The other people could have probably sold you on going to see Flash. It wasn't the worst thing ever. But
Sasha Conley was doing that. She was doing the work, doing the social media stuff, and it still was like, yeah, well, we're gonna go a different direction with our Supergirl, says James Gunn. Sorry, so much.
James Gunn. It's gonna be interesting what his casting is. I do not like how you kick off Sasha Khan. I thought she was really good in that. But
it says Sasha Khan's like, not Shaka Khan. I was like, wait, you didn't say Shaka Khan.
No, Sasha Khan was good in Flash, but they went a different way. I don't know how it's gonna go.
It's funny because for your Christmas list, you asked for so many movies that aren't gonna matter. You asked for Quantumania, you asked for Flash, and it's like,
hey, I have every Marvel movie. I as much as everyone, I don't know if you guys hear me. I complain about Thor: The Dark World. I own Thor: The Dark World because I am also like Christopher Nolan. I'm gonna own the movies that matter, and then when they take them off the streaming service, I'm gonna say, doesn't matter to me. Got it back here.
Gotcha, suckers. So you have Thor: Love and Thunder. Why don't you put that on?
Oh, that didn't count at all. That was trash.
You said you had every one, sir.
Again, I subscribe to the theory that all of that was, oh gosh, what's the Rock dude's name?
Oh, not Crackling. Yeah. Korg.
Yeah, I say that was a story by Korg to tell his kids, and none of it mattered. It was just a fable. He remembered a guy named Thor was telling a random story that didn't matter. That is how I feel about Love and Thunder. Did not count.
I really think that's probably the best way to take that movie.
Yeah.
Like, that is the way to go. I have to look because I just want to make sure that I'm telling you correctly. Yes, Korg, and then Sif with the whole losing her arm. Ugh, terrible. Yeah. Brian says, my problem with Man of Steel Zod was Jor-El beat him in the first scene. Why should I fear him as a villain when Superman's non-super dad kicked his butt already?
Yeah. Ryan,
kind of, sorta.
No. He's right because he was as they say in the beginning of Man of Steel. Everybody's trained; they're all genetically bred for a certain purpose. Zod was supposed to be a warrior soldier. Jor-El is supposed to be scientist, not martial arts master of everything. Hero of the diving champion of Krypton. No.
Now on the high board, there's Jor-El. Look at that amazing form. Ooh, he tucked in his feet a little bit.
Oh my gosh, there was no splash. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's definitely getting a 9. Like, no, you had to admit, I mean, when Zod only beats Jor-El by sucker punching him, that was lame. So, yeah.
He had to escape. There was a lot of work he had to do. I mean, a lot of work.
Again, why don't we just use Superman 1?
Don't let Chief hear you talking about Man of Steel, though.
Again, old Man of Steel is back there if you just switch it around. Like Man of Steel, but there are problems with the dang movie.
Really have problems with that movie. I mean, you don't
again,
like Zod getting killed. You don't like, I will have my revenge.
I was one of those people that when Man of Steel came out, I admit, I am a Superman fan, but that's a 7. That's not getting an 8, 9. That's a 7.
I like that a lot more than you did. But
yes, you did.
Superman 2 is one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Blake says, wow, Aquaman 2 worse than Marvels. See, the thing is, I don't think the Marvels was a bad movie. I think the Marvels just suffered from having a terrible, non-worthwhile, non-interesting, non-charismatic, non-threatening villain who was just firing laser blasts. She could have been a random character in any episode of Justice League, not even Justice League Unlimited. She could have been a random character just blasting away that was giving our heroes more problems than she should have.
Okay. Truthfully, Ms. Marvel, who had the same dang gauntlet, could have beat her. It was not like you needed Captain Marvel. You could have had Ms. Marvel. Hey, I got the other half of the gauntlet, and I actually know how to use it. Not a big threat.
Hey, Chief is here. He took a little, maybe a little Pepto and said, dang, gun. James Green's here. What's up, crew? Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, James Green.
We're not copyrighted off that, folks.
Nope. I had a full 9 seconds, didn't I? 80s kid from the 90s says I heard Rebel Moon was bad. We're not talking about Rebel Moon yet, but we'll get there because I do want to talk about it. Chief with the eyes. But we can't see the eyes do anything funny on the screen because he's not on screen with us. Get better, Chief.
I was going to say, you might actually just pull up the iPad and be like, I got to go back to bed.
Ryan says, genetically bred to be Russell Crowe fighting around the world scientist. You better believe it.
It's like a cage match scientist.
You don't know what maybe he was a science of the martial arts.
I'm sorry. I mean, this guy's going so rogue. He's like, hey, everybody else is genetically bred, but I'm going in. Like, what else do you know, Jordan?
Wasting time doing this sterile way. Let's put on a little Barry White and let's do that.
I've traveled all the way around the world, baby.
Your secret garden. I mean, he's like, heck am I doing? Tube. I don't need a tube. I am the tube. James Grady wants to know, Jeffrey, did you see Iron Claw? I did not. I have not as of yet. Like I said, I can't get out to all the screenings that I would like to. I really would have liked to have seen this movie, but companies weren't like, hey, A24 wasn't like, hey, here's a screening copy of this. So
they're not sending a screener out for that?
They didn't. They had screenings, but
I was surprised, especially as many wrestlers are involved in it. I would think
that's Hollywood.
This is not something made by WWE Media or whatever the heck the company is now. I'm thinking, hey, Zac Efron, hey, you guys want to look at him for a random shirt off? Best shirt off, dude? Come on.
So they've got Baywatch already. Don't need anything else. We don't need another Oscar-nominated film from Zac Efron. We've already got that one.
Yeah, interesting.
Blade's gonna see Godzilla -1 tomorrow.
Oh, you gotta put that in Lyle's figure file chat if it's good. I really do want to see that.
Biggest grossing movie of all time. Yeah, it's made a lot of money for a $10 million budgeted film, and just shows you how much money is being wasted with hairstylist to our director, the driver for our director. Hey, I need you to go to Europe to get me some chocolates. I think that'll really help with this scene.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's that. Let's talk about this other news that dropped today, which is very interesting. There's some rumors, little buzz. There's some early sweet nothings being whispered between Warner Brothers and Paramount in terms of doing a merge. Now, will this make it Paramax? There you go. That suggestion is free for you guys. We can make it happen right there. Just cut me a little check. Nothing short of 5 zeros, if you would, and a number in front of it.
I would say 5 zeros? Jeff, come on.
I mean, I'm not greedy. Bump it up a little. Paramax is money. I mean, come on. So let's break down this deal here. Yeah, so David Zaslav and Paramount president Bob Bakish are talking about a potential merger. Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline Hollywood all backed Axios' report. And so it looks like this could happen. They're just in the exploratory phase of things, kind of seeing if it works. Maybe we can make this happen. Paramount has apparently a very solid debt to capital ratio, but doesn't have the market capitalization that Warner Brothers Discovery possesses. So let's see. They want to share let me see here. I'm just trying to skim through this really, really quickly because it's boring legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it's a little deal work. Yeah, it's super fun.
And Showbiz 411 tweeted, inevitable Paramount is on life support. So that's kind of interesting because, it's Paramount Pictures. And thanks, Ryan. See, I mean, there you go. I got somebody backing it. And 80s kids laughing. I'm going to say 80s agree with that too. But sure. I think, the great irony of this is Paramount could be the biggest studio right now if they had just held on to the Marvel Studios license. Like that is kick your feet back. Everybody, you get to come to us because we've got all the Marvel movies. We've got Mission Impossible. We've got Star Trek. We don't need Star Wars like a Disney. We're
Disney would be on life
Marvel,
support.
Star Trek, and Mission Impossible.
Like Disney would be the one on life support.
I don't think that.
No, because think about how long it's been since a hit movie of Star Wars has been in theaters. I think Paramount would be in the driver's seats doing anything they want. Now, I think this is a good deal for them. I think consolidating the streaming market is necessary because all of them are losing money because there are too many players out. There's not enough content. I mean, there's enough content for one, like Netflix used to be, but having them spread around 25, it doesn't do anything. Because I truthfully remember, I was thinking, I don't remember the last time I've actually turned on HBO Max. It's probably been since the end of House of the Dragon.
We got to get a show. Excuse me. We need to find a movie that we can do for our watch along for December, so you can turn on Max. I think most everybody here has a Max or access to Warner Brother movies, so we'll do that just so you can turn on your Max again.
I think you might need to. Then I did the same thing with what was it? Amazon Prime. I watched this movie called X. I wish I hadn't watched that movie.
Called what?
X.
Who's in X?
The girl from Pitch Perfect, the blonde hair girl from Pitch Perfect. Kid Cudi was in it. I didn't know it was Kid Cudi until I'm like, who's this dude? Oh, it's Kid Cudi. Oh, okay.
With Jenna Ortega, that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, truthfully, it was not the worst movie I've seen all year, but that was the most recent movie I've watched on Prime. And again, Prime has a lot of TV shows and a lot of kind of mediocre shows you watch. But when it comes to, all right, it's Friday night, I want to watch a movie on Amazon Prime, I got nothing. I mean, they might have had a Christmas movie that I did not watch, but.
You thinking on Candy Cane Lane?
I haven't watched it yet. I think.
All right, let me tell you about Candy Cane Lane. Now, this is not an Oscar film, okay? So first up, if you got your snooty Oscar hat on, don't watch it. But it's a Christmas movie that has like an RPG kind of quest feel to it. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a little bit too long. I mean, it's right up at 2 hours. I'm like, why are you this long? You could have got cut by about 20, 30 minutes. It'd been great, but it's whatever. I wasn't like, come on, end already. I was just kind of like you still got 20 more minutes to go. Okay. Eddie Murphy's not trying to be like super Eddie Murphy. I got to carry everything on my back because the rest of it sucks. I mean, I thought it was very fun for what it was. A Christmas movie, lighthearted, cool premise. Not something I've seen over and over and over again from a Christmas movie. So check it out. It's definitely one of those situations where it's like, I'm glad this got on Amazon Prime, something at least be like, oh, okay, cool. I feel like every quarter there's a good Amazon Prime movie. But again, not enough to make it worthwhile in terms of I need to get Amazon Prime so I can catch all these new movies. You're dead on about those TV shows. It's like, great, you got a TV show. I don't have 8 hours for your TV show. I do have 2 hours, maybe 2.5 if it's really good, but I don't have all this time for yourself.
Because what was the last good movie I remember from Amazon Prime was Tomorrow's War.
I knew you were going to say that Chris Pratt movie.
Yeah, that was good. The rest of them have been, I can't even say hit or miss, just miss. So
swing and a miss.
Yeah, it's been striking out lately.
And we've talked about this, the whole streaming battle for all this money that was out there. It just didn't work because Netflix was doing what no one else was doing, and they had access to everything. And Netflix has pivoted properly by back during the pandemic era, we got a new movie coming every Friday, and it was great. And maybe the movies weren't always great, but you knew there was a new movie coming. There was constant content coming. The quality was real sketchy at times, but you knew if this movie at the beginning of this month wasn't any good, maybe 3 Fridays from now, that movie would be good. And because they have the money to bring in stars like DJ, I don't know if you listen to too many podcasts except for this one, but there's a couple spots going on where The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is talking and he introduces himself as DJ. And as the commercial's going on, I'm like, that's The Rock. What? Why do you say DJ? It's really weird. But they've got The Rock, they've got Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, Joy Roberts, Mahershala Ali. They've got big stars doing original movies for them. And we're not really seeing that from a lot of these other players. Max is kind of, oh, yeah, we could, but we'll just put our movies that are in theaters out. And that approach is fine. You can watch Barbie now on Max if you choose. It's not the same thing as having that constant original content. And Paramount, Max, to a lesser degree, Disney Plus are finding it's kind of tough out there to keep this going unless you have a steady churn of content that people can just consume. Disney's better because they have that Fox catalog, the Star Wars, the Marvel stuff for people to just gorge on, and they keep cranking out new stuff. I really think that's where they should be doing more original movies like Solo 2. That would be a great avenue for them for there.
If they could figure out how to keep the budget down, I would, going back to Blake, I would start talking to the guys who make that $10 million movie, stretch that budget, and make profit. We need those kind of those kind of directors, writers. We don't need to spend giant amounts of money because we've lost a lot of money on some of our bad investments. So we need cheap, good, easy content, very similar to Netflix, but Netflix is putting big budget on it. But you need
Extraction too.
But what was it? Red Notice? That wasn't cheap, I'm sure. But you need those good moneymaker content that's not TV show and put it into Disney's rotation. That would be very good for them. It'd actually be very good for Max, but if Max is kind of trying to consolidate, make sure all their money's good to buy another streaming service, because I think someone like me, I would watch, what was it, Yellowstone that they put on TV, that if I can watch it without commercials, I watch it. I can actually have some time. I might actually have some time this winter. Before New Year's, I would watch stuff like that. But might
interest you in a free 30-day trial of Paramount Plus.
I'm not giving them my credit card number and forget about it. That's exactly what I don't want to have. That's the one I would literally be seeing, like the one you see on YouTube commercials. Like, you know how many subscriptions you didn't even know you were paying for? No, I really did. Because now Paramount Plus would be that one. Like, hey, you're still paying for DC Universe. Oh crap. Yeah, I want one streaming service that I pay for, 1 or 2 monthly streaming service that I get good quality out of. I've actually enjoyed Hulu more than I have HBO Max, because I actually get TV shows I actually want to watch, and I occasionally can watch a movie I just missed in theater, like, what was it, The Haunting of Venice, and it's like, oh, okay, I can watch stuff like that, even with 2 commercials for the whole movie. I can live with that.
80s Kid wants to know, has anyone seen the new Lightning Thief show? It's awesome.
I have not.
Is that Percy Jackson?
That could be. I think the fact that the original Percy Jackson actor gave the nod, like, good job, here you guys are doing a good job. I always think that's cool. So
it's better than hating on it.
Yeah.
No? Okay. No idea about that one. Anyway, Echo is dropping all of its 5 episodes January 9th. Definitely an interesting strategy for Disney, because that's not the norm. We're going to get all 9. And there's some people going, it's like a throwback to Daredevil on Netflix. So good. They've hyped up Echo's power. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on Echo? Echo, in 5 episodes. That's quick. That's shorter than we normally get from Disney Plus shows. That's almost, what was that, 2 movies or
That's
two? Yeah, I guess just 2 movies.
I like the idea of a throwback Daredevil, but the funny thing is, if you tell me you almost made a throwback Daredevil episode series instead of actually making Daredevil, I'm going to be pissed off at you because Echo had Kingpin in it. So, I mean, I'm sorry, that was Hawkeye, and you introduced that character in Hawkeye. Why didn't you move those writers on to Daredevil? You had 19 episodes. You could have introduced all the street level heroes back into the MCU and done what we want you to do. We don't, even watching the trailer of Echo, I'm like, wow, that does look violent, good Daredevil level character, but I would have rather seen Daredevil. I'm rewatching Daredevil now, and I'm like, man, this was really freaking good.
You need that reminder.
Every now and then you gotta remind yourself, like, oh, it does not have to be as bad as it's been. And Daredevil reminds you, hey, even though I don't like having, let's say, 8 episodes dropped on me a week, which Netflix didn't do at the time, I still can. There's still good quality. There was good quality stuff, but they have diluted so much of it, trying to get, I don't know, people to Disney Plus, that they let their foot off the gas, or they said, hey, we don't want violent content on our Disney Plus. Oh, wait, we need that content. Please give it back to us. Thanks. Bye. Yeah.
Okay. I cannot wait to get your thoughts on this one. And to everybody in the chat.
This is a setup, yeah.
Snake Eyes, I have zero idea who would play Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Absolutely none. Sonic is fun to me, but I have no idea who would be a good choice for him whatsoever. So Ryan Gosling is in talks with Marvel Studios. And apparently there's some hype buzz around him playing Doctor Doom. Terrible choice. Glad to hear that's not going to be the call. But he might be doing something with Marvel Studios. Who would be a good choice for him to play in the MCU? I have a thought, but I'm curious to hear what your choice would be for.
Okay, I like Ryan Gosling as an actor, but truthfully, I think somebody said this years ago on our show. Ryan Gosling he doesn't look like the guy you want to have a beer with. He seems like the guy's gonna come in there. You're at the bar. Ryan Gosling comes in there. You can just close your tab right there. It's over. You're not doing anything. Your day is shot. It's over. You might as well buy him a drink. It's over. Wrap that up.
It's over, Brian.
Because you got no chance here. I'm trying to think of.
80 says Kang the Conqueror.
Okay.
There's a very.
Okay, I got an idea.
All right.
It's already been cast, but I think I might like this one a little more. What about Wonder Man?
No, he needs no. Wonder Man is a bigger dude. He gets ionic power. And Ryan Gosling, as much as he wants to bulk up, he's never going to look like Simon Williams should.
Okay. Let me think.
There is a perfect casting choice. It's not been cast yet in the MCU.
Are you gonna? I think I know where you're going.
Okay.
Are you gonna say Johnny Storm?
No. He'd be a great Johnny Storm. He might be a little too old to play Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Angel. Warren Worthington III. He's got that. You come in, you're gonna take all the attention. Great, thanks, dude. Appreciate you. That's Ryan Gosling. He can fly. He can be kind of aloof, and he can be. I got this money, honey. Dude, he would be great as Angel, and you don't even have to worry about him. He's a lock. He's already got the hair. You don't have to do anything. Just slap on some CGI wings. He's part of your X-Men franchise, and there you go.
Okay. Is he too big a star to play Angel? Okay, Jeff.
When you say too big a star,
okay.
Is he the driving force in Barbie?
Okay. Angel is a member of the original X-Men. I'm trying to think of how, like, the original X-Men is, if I was to cast, it's probably more of an ensemble team versus a one driving star, which the biggest X-Men problem with X-Men, the original was, we made Hugh Jackman the star. Everybody else was a bunch of chumps. I think, yeah, I think he's a little. I think it's probably a little too big, but I think that's a cool casting, though. Because I mean, when let me say this: if you get to mutant massacre, I think that would be cool.
And then he could be moody, emo, Warren before he becomes Archangel. And I think he would be a really good angel because it was my idea, of course. But also simply because he's not, to me, a star box office draw. I don't think he's had a mega blockbuster hit where it's like, this movie made so much money because Ryan Gosling's a star. He's a guy that oh yeah. He's that dude. He's not, I don't say Tom Cruise. I feel like that's a little lazy, but I don't know if there's a true movie star. Huh?
The La La Land, that was big.
That movie wasn't like killing the box office. And I'd argue Emma Stone was the star of that movie. They should cast a black actor to play Angel to freak people out like Madonna video in 1990. And Ryan, they would. Folks clutching their pearls. What? You can't do this.
Oh gosh, just try
to Glenn Powell, Angel. He would be really good too. But I almost feel like we need him to play a cockier character. I almost feel like he would be a great Iceman or Johnny Storm.
Okay, could you see him? Now we need a mask. He needs to have his mask off. I was gonna say maybe Cyclops, but no, I don't think that could work.
Glenn could play a pretty solid Cyclops too. Just without the comedic edge and be just more of a straight-laced character. I think he's got a little bit too much charisma to play my boy Scott, who needs to be ripped. And Logan, don't talk to my girl.
Because who was, I think this is the analogy to me is Cyclops is very much, oh gosh, they're not the boys. The Umbrella Academy, where you have the one guy who sticks around. That's Cyclops. Professor X has kicked everybody else, but I'm number one. I'm still here. I still believe in the mission. You need somebody who can pull that off.
You need the true believer.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what your excitement level is for reboots, but there's some news that Disney is kind of messing around with, tinkering with the idea of rebooting the X-Files. And their choice to helm this new universe is Ryan Coogler. Now what do you think?
Don't we have Black Panther 3 to be working on?
Do we though? We could put Michael B. Jordan in one of the roles there. We got him. James is like immediately, no. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is Sculler, not Scully. It's Mulder and Scully.
Mulder and Scully.
Yeah. Big X-Files guy here. Me.
Okay. I have not binge watched X-Files. The show itself, I know, cool, abducted. Yeah, I know the high points of that.
What up, Keith? You're not getting Black Panther 3.
Nah, we really aren't, Keith. I'm deluding myself to think that that's going to happen. Here's the funny thing. I think you could do X-Files. X-File in a world where information is much more available, but some of the stuff that's hidden is really hidden.
Conspiracy theories.
I think in you can really get some. I think you can get some miles out of a good X-Files. Get some good character. I mean, I just don't want Ryan Coogler. I just want him working on Black Panther 3. Disappointed me. I mean, but he's going to disappoint me by now recasting T'Challa. Okay, but I think I wouldn't mind seeing X-File reboot. in a new environment with you got some cool hackers. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be fun.
Don't do a hard reboot. Keep it in the same universe as the original X-Files. Just the next generation. And I think, we talk about reboots and doing stuff, from another twist. I love what they did with Star Trek, where hey, you can keep what you love. We're not messing with that at all. You're good. And I wish they'd almost kind of done that with Star Wars, or just moved so far beyond that we didn't see our favorites getting screwed around. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of an X-Files reboot or a Fringe reboot.
Fringe is hard. Fringe is one of those. Because did you watch the end of Fringe, Jeff?
I watched the whole thing. It's great.
I
know that would be too hard, and it's not like they can top it.
Yeah.
He says, I mean, they ain't Brian Fox to not mind these things. I'm cool with Coogler doing it, as long as he does it and does it well.
Yeah, you with X-Files on a long form sci-fi, you have to have a good start, and you have to know probably where you're going to end. Like Supernatural, the original part of Supernatural is basically supposed to end in season 5. If you watch from season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're like, oh my gosh, did y'all really do that? And then you get to the rest of them, they're cool, but 5 is where it's whoa.
I feel like I'm pretty bad with the math thing, but I feel like you neglected a season in your breakdown of 1 through 5.
No, I mean like once. No, I have watched maybe 3 episodes of season 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5 get you, because 1 is my boy Will said, it's ghost. Don't worry about anything. Just go to the season finale, which is basically what I do every time. 2, after that, you're gonna get kind of your breadcrumbs to get you to season 5, and that season 5 finale is awesome. The rest of it is a good show, and I watch it. I own probably every season of Supernatural, but 5 is we got here. Dang, did not. I mean, I saw it coming, but wow, awesome.
Okay, well, when I see you on Christmas, maybe I can borrow some of your disc there, guy. Cool. Mickey Rowe, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
I enjoyed the X-Files series. I would love to see the original cast come back for a few episodes to show that both old and new shows are in the same universe. I always think that's a cool idea when you do something where it's not snatching it away and acting like the predecessors didn't exist. So I think that'd be fun. And X-Files is absolutely a concept where it's not like they're jumping around doing backflips and all that stuff. So the older crew could team up with them for a few episodes, kind of pass the torch if we will, or just go to another city where they can do their thing, and it's whatever.
Well, okay. For everybody who's on the chat who's watched X-Files, I have not watched too many episodes and did not watch the finale. But could the finale springboard to another story 20 years or 30 years down the road?
To answer your question, 80s, I watched it enough to know it was cool. It's just they were popping out a lot of great shows during that time period, and I just didn't watch it regularly. But what I did see was good, and it's one of those where I didn't feel like you had to watch every episode to know if you liked it. I thought it was fine. I just didn't keep up with it. Maybe that's something I could watch over the weekend and binge a lot and be like, oh man, it's great.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those shows. If somebody came up with the top, I don't know how many episodes X-Files had, but if you said top 25 episodes that you need to watch to understand it, I would probably be down to watch that. Okay.
Blake says they brought back X-Files and it didn't take, correct? A few years ago?
They did a movie to, I think, try and wrap the whole thing up, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that worked.
So it started in 93. That's a while ago. And I'm trying to see what exactly happened with the 2000, because I know it didn't go from 93 to 2018. It had, let's see here, 11 seasons. So that was not quick. Let me check here. All right. So the 2018 was, let me see, when was season 10? That would help. So let's see. It's 2016. where's this break? All right, 99, 2000, 2001. So they restarted it in 2016. So that was a long gap, long break. And these episode ratings on IMDb are solid. It's they're around like 7. There's some 8s. So I would assume that the audience enjoyed it enough. So maybe there is still life in this franchise.
I think most good sci-fi has life. You just need to not piss off the originals and everybody will come back.
Now, Blake also wanted to know, what reboots were really successful? Battlestar Galactica, not a lot do well. No, they're not. I think it's just because people love the original and what they enjoyed. Let's put that down. We'll write it down. Let's make it homework so we can do this.
I can tell you one show did not. Charmed. Like that didn't work at all. Well, I'm not making it easy. If anything got rebooted, it was on the CW, and they made a reboot. Didn't work. Horrible. Trash. I think I can safely say that. Roswell, new class. Doesn't matter. Trash.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Hey, Walker still got another season. Walker is so good, he got spinoffs this season.
So me. Yeah. All right. Well, let me see. There was some more stuff before I got to. I know you're gonna love this. This is a rumor, just a rumor. The plan for the Marvel Studios X-Men series coming to the MCU is to focus more on the female members of the team.
So we're canceling X-Men. All right, cool. All right, thanks. Damn, that was quick. Like, technically speaking, wasn't the focus on the original X-Men Jean?
I think as my man Lawrence Ferguson in the building, Law Ferg says Rogue. Rogue was kind of the big deal on that. And I mean, I thought Wolverine was the focus. Way too much of the focus on those films than he needed to be. Where Wolverine works best is the dude who's bucking authority, just not with the spotlight on him. He's a character that's like, I'd like to know a little bit more about that short guy with the claws and a lousy attitude. But when you put the spotlight on him, he's not as cool in an ensemble setup where it's like, why are we focusing on the malcontent?
I always remember the Costanza episode of Seinfeld. Always leaving them wanting more. And then the episode where actually the boss says, hey, I just want to hang out with you, it fails miserably. That's what you needed from X-Men. We want to know, man, we don't want to see all this. We like that cool guy comes in and saves the day. Wolverine. And not, wow, Wolverine. Let's go to your origin. Oh, well, that's trash. Oh, Deadpool doesn't talk. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Great decisions, guys.
Okay, now 80s kid. I think if you want to make a film, technically focuses more on Storm as the leader, Rogue is the leader. I think
Storm.
Well, I say that because I may have read some.
If Scott's now going to be the leader of the X-Men, then Storm needs.
I've read some more of these X-Men episodes. I thought Storm was the leader of some of these new ones. I mean, I'm sorry, Rogue was.
They've been putting Storm to the back, which is my thing. If Scott is not the leader of the X-Men, it's only Storm for me. I don't care if it's Wolverine, Bishop, or even Q. Just want Storm to be the leader.
Now, isn't X-Men 97? Well, shouldn't Rogue be Storm be the leader there?
I think Magneto's positioned to be the leader of that. Because we haven't had enough of him. Gene. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, really? Like
Ryan says X-Men.
Jeff, what I don't understand is, does everybody remember Onslaught? That was a really cool character. And you can't get to Magneto and Onslaught if you make Magneto good so freaking early.
In fairness, long before Onslaught, back in '84, they were starting to tinker with the idea that maybe Magneto's not a really bad guy. That shout out to my guy Stu Hangover. Joe Divitt was a really good guy. Um, they were teasing kind of like, well, maybe we could do some things with Magneto, and he kind of started flipping back then between walking the path of the X-Men and going back to his evil ways. He was the leader of the X-Men when Professor X was gone for a while back in the 80s. So it's not this, and he was wearing a costume, he was wearing X-Men 97. So it's not some, oh man, it's just more the movies overdosed on Magneto to the point where him and Mystique were getting more screen time than traditional classic X-Men characters. So Kevin Feige, in the same report, does not want to have Magneto show up, which is great news.
Okay.
Magneto's a great character. I don't need to see him on the big screen anytime soon. Ryan says X-Men have always had strong female characters, and every generation of X-Men has had a young woman POV character, Kitty, Jubilee, Rogue, Armor, etc. And Lars says Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yep, her too.
Well, was Jubilee really positioned as strong character? She was very. I mean, from X-Men '97.
She's a teenage character. I mean,
she was a teenage. She was Spike to the Transformers, as far as I was concerned.
Well, she had powers, and in the comic book, she was totally capable of doing things. I mean, it wasn't like she was overpowering everybody with her fireworks, but she wasn't a chump. Same deal with Kitty, and to a lesser degree, Rogue, because she went from like this old lady to like a teenage girl when she joined. I mean, maybe like a very young adult woman when she joined the X-Men officially. So there's always been that kind of younger character who's like, who are these people? Oh man, they're wild. This guy's a big hulky mask. He turns to steel. This short guy with the hair and the claws smells like cigars all the time. What's with the fuzzy blue demon-looking character?
What's X-Men the original team for everybody to kind of get?
No, they were all kind of young teens. He was just the younger version of them. They didn't really start doing that dynamic where they kind of had a teen sidekick until Kitty. Okay. And she was very much her powers made it so she was not the damsel in distress, but she wasn't really capable of doing a whole lot either. So she was there and she was around. I want to help. And or more of a hot rod than Spike, I would say. She just didn't get Storm or Wolverine killed. Mickey says, I would love to see Generation X featured and would expand on Jubilee's growth of powers. That series in comics was amazing. It's funny because I feel like that would have been a really good show for Disney Plus where, you establish your X-Men for a little bit, then do Gen X. But I wonder if the X Factor TV show or whatever I think it was Gifted. Whatever that was on Fox. The Gifted.
Okay. Did somebody watch that? I think somebody mentioned, I think it might have been Chief who mentioned that. And it's on my queue because I want to see, hey, was this any good and we just should have gave it a try, or because it was on Hulu and not on it was on Fox.
Fox.
But honestly, how many people really watch Fox anymore? Besides for football.
I do not.
I couldn't tell you the last show I watched from Fox. That is
I watch it every Sunday when they properly put number one team in the NFL.
I'm sorry. So you mean when you can watch America's favorite team?
Yeah.
You mean when or the time when I call, it's a 4:00 game I don't need to watch.
Yeah. The law says not strong. She's a distraction. And then Ryan says those are the gateway characters. They were the audience surrogates who could be wowed by the craziness the team experienced.
Yeah, I think that is always, especially coming from us 80s, 90s kids. Sometimes we hated that character, but there was times we appreciated that character.
I feel like I didn't hate that character until rewatching it nowadays. There's like, gosh, this character's so annoying. Focus on the cool characters. But I definitely didn't hate Spike. I did find T-Bob and Scott annoying even then. It's like, stop it. Matt Tracker. Hondo.
Well, what was it? Defenders of Earth? Like, Hey, can you not
Oh,
focus
God.
on these daggone teams? I don't care about them. I don't care about Panthro Jr. Get me the freaking Defenders
Defenders of the Earth, Defenders.
and their kids. No. I meant Defenders of the Earth.
And their children. No.
We'll be taking up half the screen time.
Mickey says, I actually enjoyed The Gifted. It was great to see the Stepford Cuckoos in action.
Okay.
All right. Where is that? You said you have it in your queue.
It's in Hulu. I have to figure out what a day to watch it. So that might be it's on the list. So,
Might I suggest next Tuesday? I assume you're not working then.
No, I'm scheduled to work.
Wow.
I don't know why I haven't scheduled to take off. I took off today randomly, but
vacation time there.
Yeah. I only got one more day where I have to blow, and that might be tomorrow.
One more day. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's get into this topic that I wanted to, where we're rocking our sweaters in the first place. Every year, there are certain movies that I must watch every Christmas. That it's not a Christmas unless I watch these movies, or it's not a Christmas season until I've watched and seen these films. Do you have a few of those, I would assume, as well?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go back and forth for a little bit. What do you got? What's your first one?
First one I have to watch is Christmas Vacation. There's that I don't care if it's on TNT in Max, I'm watching that movie. Because I have to hear Randy Quaid say, "Hitter's full," okay? It's not if I don't hear that, it's not Christmas. I don't care what you did. So I need to hear Clark Griswold, Kirk on the whole daggone family. I have to hear that. If not, it's not Christmas yet. What you got?
Boss says 8 Crazy Nights. Very classic one. For me, well, he just took my one of mine this Christmas. I love that movie. That cast is so great. I mean, I appreciated the cast, but I'm like, man, we just got Idris Elba chilling in this movie, and he's not the star of it. It's like, wow, okay, that's a really good family movie, and it has all kinds of different cool sequences. Got Chris Brown pre-taint, but now he's got it back because who cares what he did in his past? We all learn from our mistakes, and he's singing a little Donny Hathaway. I like that eye emoji there. Too bad they don't pop up like some of the.
Okay.
It's good. Yes. Trading Places.
Great. That's a great one.
And Ryan agrees with you. Christmas Vacation is number 1. Burn my dust and eat my rubber. Christmas Story. I mean, you gotta watch that. You sons of a. Oh man. As long as I'm watching a version with no commercials, CBS will play 24-hour marathon. But as soon as the commercial hits, I'm like, where is the copy so I can watch it? Because it's like, no commercials here. No commercials for you.
Yeah.
Mickey Rose says Batman Returns is my Christmas film list. Hey, I love that movie. It's so underrated. And he goes nuts with all the Christmas motif and all this stuff, like the clowns jumping onto the Christmas trees and the folks dancing badly. Oh, man, I love that movie. Yeah, I'm with that. That was a good one. Law. Oops. Snake Eyes, I love Christmas Vacation. Yes.
Yeah.
What's too long? It's a major award. Spider-Man No Way Home. I have to rewatch that.
Huh. Okay.
Ryan says The Ref, even though it's a Kevin Spacey movie. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff like, ooh, can I watch
it? Nice now.
Jingle All the Way, says Afton Child.
Okay.
That's a choice. Scrooge. Scrooge is good. He's good. All right, bro, what you got?
My next one is I have to watch, and I will definitely be watching it again this year on Christmas night. Always, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
It's essential.
Clarence.
I have to watch that.
Yes. Absolutely. Now, that is not a quick movie, but you gotta watch it. I mean, it's just essential. And And that, for whatever reason, I don't mind suffering and during the commercials.
They
I
don't
don't know
have
why.
commercials. Every time NBC affiliate says,
Oh,
"Hey,
it's right, commercial free,
we are
isn't it?
hey, this is paid for every year. Enjoy watching this 3-4 hour long movie. No commercials. Enjoy yourself." And I take advantage of watching it every year.
After Batman Returns, I never look at mistletoe the same again. It's forever staying in my brain of the bat and the cat kissing. Yes.
Yeah.
What is the line? Mistletoe can be deadly. Oh man.
So can a
Help me
kiss.
out. Huh?
So can a kiss.
Ah, yes. But only if you mean it. Jingle jangle, says Law. Jingle all the way is goated, says 80s kid. Snake Eyes goes Jim Carrey Grinch. The Christmas Carol, the 1984 George C. Scott version is my version. Second is the musical version with Albert Finney. Well, Blake, mine
I was going to say
must be the Muppets.
I was going to say, you got to go down.
That is my choice.
Those
are great versions, but man.
Yeah. As I just was listening to the Muppets Christmas Carol for the 9 millionth time, yes.
Golden Ring. Ba-da-bum-bum. Ryan says both Mickey and Muppets Christmas Carol. Yep. Yeah, I forgot about Mickey. You can't throw that one out either. Are you going through your list now, trying to figure out some of your other ones?
Yeah, because I don't want to go jumping behind me where I'm actually watching them.
Here are my choices.
Oh yeah. Okay. So next one for me would be Home Alone. Number one.
Kevin.
Yeah. The first one made, a whole lot of sense. And now it would be a whole lot. Oh my gosh, really got this kid. Oh well. He'll stick around. He'll be fine.
Mickey says Home Alone and Bad Santa.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it, but a kiss can be even deadlier if you eat it.
See.
Yes. Ryan comes through for us again. Wade says Charlie Brown Christmas Special is the GOAT for cartoons. Absolutely. Garfield Christmas is great too. You gotta watch Frosty and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer too. Snake Eyes, I love Jim Carrey version of the Grinch. Yeah, I got you on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I always have to watch Best Man Holiday. My wife can't stand it because of the spoiler ending, but I love that movie. It's so cool, and they go into it. She can't stand watching it.
I think I just watched that movie the first time last Christmas.
What?
Because everyone told me the ending was so like, dang y'all, and I knew kind of what was happening, but I'm like, oh man, but this is so good. It was one of those. If you enjoy a good Christmas movie, I think that's a good one to be on the list too.
Now, since you just finally got around to watching that, have you watched the Best Man TV series?
No. It's only on Peacock. I can't watch it on Peacock. I don't have that.
It's only like 8 episodes. Maybe we could come through for a weekend and we'll watch it because that's great too. Okay. Or you can do your free trial of Peacock.
Again, you know how much money you're paying in subscriptions? Shoot. Go.
Violent Night, says Snake Eyes.
Oh, that was good. Interesting.
All right, so what else you got, bro?
Next one's Love Actually.
Exactly. You got to put that on there all the time. There's just no way around it.
It was funny that somebody was saying, "Oh, some of these jokes aren't appropriate." I'm like, we don't have to judge everything on today's standard. It was funny. It was cool. And it's still a beloved holiday movie.
I'm sorry. What are we complaining about with that one?
The prime minister and his girlfriend.
Oh gosh. Yeah, because that would never happen in real life. Never ever happen in real life. No chance.
The actress played in that didn't fit what they were trying to say, of course. Because are you saying that? Okay. But
she's a little chubby. What we say? She's a little chubby.
Like what?
That, oh gosh, they can get that. That was hilarious. That thing is awesome, and that's why I always have to watch. I pull them all out because I have a stack of Blu-rays just for Christmas time. So I watch them, and I'm all set and definitely doing it.
No.
Mickey Rose says the Polar Express has been a popular favorite of mine too. Love Tom Hanks and I love the computer animation they did. And After Child's With You, Polar Express. And then Blake says, for the last few weeks, I've been watching Santa slasher horror Christmas movies from the 70s, 80s. See, Chief would have loved to have heard you say that, Blake. Yeah. Christmas Evil, Don't Open Till Christmas, Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, there was another Silent Night that just came out. Wouldn't recommend.
Oh, see, because I was wondering that you actually did a review on that. Oh, wow, it's all done.
Thank you. Yeah, it also has Kid Cudi. I'm thinking we're starting to find a common denominator here.
Ooh, I'm not gonna say anything.
It was weird because it was like, this is not awesome and great. There we go. I found my page. I need to pull this up higher or something so I can. So I did a whole page of Christmas movies that I've reviewed over on the site, and just trying to go through all the ones because some are on Netflix that you can actually watch. Some are terrible. I would also, for sure, if you have Netflix, check out Claws. That is a really great Christmas movie, awesome animation, and a really, really, really good Christmas movie. What you got next? Oh, he's disappeared. I guess he's going to go find his movies.
I did actually had to turn the camera around so I could actually look through it. But hey, in case anybody's forgot, this movie is 100% a Christmas movie. Die Hard. 2.
Not one.
It's 2.
Best part of Love Actually is Liam Neeson's son saying, "Come on, Dad, let's go get the beep kicked out of us by love." And that whole scene is just like that subplot. I feel like there's so many great subplots that we don't see a lot of in those kind of ensemble films, and every one of them paid off really well and was good. I will argue she should have never gone into his pocket in the first place, but that's a totally different story.
That's a whole different kind of work.
On you, nosing around, getting yourself disappointed. All right, I'll say Last Holiday, the Queen Latifah film. I thought that was really cool and a good show of how great she is in those kind of comedy films too. And since you love Die Hard so much, did you watch the Netflix film Love Hard, which you can watch now on Netflix?
No, I haven't watched that yet. Who's in that one?
Man, Nina Dobrev.
Okay, you know she's from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. That's pretty much the biggest star. All right, so then another one, Rise of the Guardians, because
we might be the only 2 people who know that movie, of course.
That's not true. We're not the only ones, but I really, really love that one. That was really good, really awesome, and absolutely something I have to see every time. So you got another one?
I got Elf.
Elf
has got to be watched.
Now this one it's not limited to all this, but one I would suggest, kind of fun. You know, there's always like a million on Lifetime and Hallmark where it's just like, oh man, you just keep doing this. But I liked Holiday with Emma Roberts, Luke Bracey, and it's not just Christmas, but it's like through the round of holidays. Really fun, and they do a good job on that one. Okay. There are a bunch of other ones that are just kind of fine. Netflix actually has some pretty solid Christmas movies.
Yeah, Netflix, if you want to run through a good bunch of holiday movies, Netflix got.
Yeah. 80s kids with us. I forgot about Rise of the Guardians. Yeah. And James says Christmas Vacation. Now, we've talked about some really good ones. I'm going, nice. He smells like beef and cheese. He's not the real Santa.
Yeah.
I would absolutely not recommend Last Christmas. That's terrible. Like, absolutely terrible.
Which one is
it? Stars Khaleesi and my guy.
You're talking about the guy from
Henry.
You're talking about from Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, Henry Golding. That's his name.
Yeah,
that was terrible, and it's so bad. It's not a comedy. It's like a miserable. Why am I watching this movie? And I actually went to the theaters for it. And I was so upset and annoyed. And
he's got to talk to his agent.
He does. Or he needs to do.
I tried to watch what was an Amazon movie where he's an assassin.
No, see, you should have read my review. That was terrible.
Oh my gosh! Like, come on, man.
I need you to get a new agent. Not even talk to him. Just say it's been real, but we're done. Because gosh,
The guy who has that much charisma from Crazy Rich Asians should not be in these kind of movies.
never,
Period.
ever. Neither Clark wasn't. It was bad. Ryan, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Kevin Bacon. Yes.
You know, and the funny thing, Disney tries that you might want, if you like that, you may want to get a physical copy because Disney may take it off the shelf and put it in there, maybe allowing you to watch it once a season. But they said that didn't have the viewership they really wanted, and we really are trying to debate all the content we supply, what we keep on our services. So if you like it, go watch it.
Yeah. Blake says, Jayce, I was going to say Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and watched it 3 times last month, but I always thought of it as a Thanksgiving movie. But it's still
I always think of it as a holiday movie that just anything can go wrong for your travels. Planes, Trains, and Automobile.
That is true. All right, you have any other suggestions? Any other must-watch films for Christmas for you, bro?
Other than Die Hard, I think I have. Because again, I think 2 is my favorite for every one of the holiday, but I do think you got to watch Die Hard 1.
Snake Guy says Rudolph. Yes.
Oh, gosh, how do we forget that? Jeez.
I didn't. I said Rudolph and Frosty.
Oh, you said the animated ones, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of list do you think I'm running here, guy?
I don't know. Some crazy talk. I don't know.
Very crazy talk. All right. Well, like I said, do not watch Silent Night. It's so long to be that bad. It's 1 hour and 44 minutes. It feels like 2.5 hours.
How much dialogue, Jeffrey?
The main character does not talk in the movie. And it's not great because they're just like, yeah, we're going to do our own thing and do some different stuff. Not a fan whatsoever of it. And just not loving it. Did not find it appealing and was not a fan at all of that movie.
Yeah. John, I like a good John Woo movie. You can put in Killers and what was the other one I have? Boiled Down. The original, those are great movies. But trying to do a whole movie, a silent, basically revenge fit, no, I'm a pass.
I mean, it could have worked, but we needed some dialogue. We needed someone talking.
You needed the guys who could talk because he can still hear. You need them to talk, kind of to drive what's going. Hey, so and so got moped out. We need to consolidate or something. You need something to there. You can't have everybody just all you get is a soundtrack of violence. That might not work. Sounds like it did not work for you.
No, not even a little bit. All right, so it's that time, guy. I mean, it's the last one before Christmas. Okay. Hard boiled. So,
that's what I'm at. Yeah.
All right. Who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week?
My nominee for Dummy of the Week is Mr. So I can look on cameras, which I didn't the last week. My Dummy of the Week is Mr. Demetrius Polytron. I know I'm saying that wrong, but I'll tell you why he's my Dummy of the Week.
Please.
He decided he was going to start publishing sequels to Return of the King.
Sequels?
He was going to make a whole book series after Return of the King. You know what the problem of that is?
What's that?
He's not a Tolkien. And he's not somebody on Amazon Prime who actually owns the right to these books. So he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write some sequels about these characters, and then I'm going to sue Amazon and the Tolkiens. This is going to work perfectly. Judge summarily swatted that away. And then Amazon and the Tolkiens came back saying, yeah, we want to stop him from ever making that crap again. And the judge said, sure. And burn all the stuff. And if you got a copy of it on your computer, burn that too. So trying to, countersue somebody before you make something when you've stolen their work and just
AKA the Pharrell Robin Thicke tactic.
It's like, ha, I know you're going to sue me, but I'm going to sue you first. And somehow the judge is never going to hear your thing, and it's going to side you.
The blurred lines defense does not work yet again.
Blurred lines never works, people. So, if you think about trying to make true derivative work off Star Wars and then sue Disney and George Lucas, it's not going to work either. So, if you don't do that, you're on like my dummy of the week.
All right, my nominee is everybody clutching so desperately, so tight to their long shattered illusion and myth. I got to shout out the Chief because I'm talking about football, of course. They're refusing to believe that somehow in their great talking heads, not NFL scouts mindsets, they're literally on TV just talking about what teams should be doing. They go, Brock Purdy can't be the MVP. He's not the most valuable player, even on the 49ers. And I'm like, you all are insane, because I sat through every torturous moment this year, the NFC Championship game, still recovering. And I'm sitting there watching a Brock Purdy who could not throw, hand the ball off, and to Christian McCaffrey. I was watching it like, Christian McCaffrey is a great running back, great offensive player of the year for sure. And he powered through to get a ridiculous touchdown. Didn't even make any sense how he made that happen. But without Brock Purdy, we were DOA. And these guys are going, no, it's not Brock Purdy. There's no chance he can be MVP. It's Dak Prescott. He's having a wonderful year, beating up on the cupcake circuit.
Always.
He played in Buffalo and got demolished. So, of course, my natural thought is, well, now the conversation is, it's all about Brock. It's Brock's world. Then, well, Lamar Jackson's having a heck of a year. Where'd this come from? Oh, that's right. It's anybody but Brock. I don't care. I hope Brock doesn't care. I hope anybody on the Niners does not care. The only MVP, that I care about, that any Niner fan really should care about, is the Super Bowl MVP, because that means the quest for 6 is done, over with. We can celebrate. Start saying 7 would be heaven.
Hey, honestly, I was going to say, Jeff, you should be very happy that if Brock Purdy does not win MVP, because you guys still have to pay him a contract after this is over. And until that, you want to have those rewards minimal as possible so they can make some argument, oh, he's just a manager when he gets his first contract. So, and then he say, are you freaking kidding me? And they're like, all right, we were just playing. All right, here you go. we understand where we were. We saw since the last Super Bowl win what you guys have been able to cover back in that quarterback position. So, yeah, if he sucks, yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. So good luck on that. We may sniff the playoffs, but we're gonna get bounced up real quick. After that Detroit game, you see how far we go.
Well, guys, thank you all so much as always for watching us every Wednesday on Lyle's Movie Files. We really appreciate it. Hope if you celebrate, you have an awesome Christmas. Of course, we'll be back here next week, kicking off our big pre-New Year's festivities. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'll have my year in by that point, ready to go, and we can start talking now about all these exciting, thrilling movies that are coming for 2024. There's really not that many. It's crazy because I'm like, where is all the movies for 2024? But we'll talk about all of it. Huh?
In 2025.
Yeah, see you in 2025 for the movies. The 2024 movies have moved to 2025. All right, well, thank you. I will be back on tomorrow for a very special edition of Lyle's Movie Files, because it will be 1 year tomorrow that I got my liver transplant successfully, all that great stuff. So I got a lot to celebrate. I get to celebrate it with you fine folks. And so for now, bro shot, I'll see you on Christmas with Christmas presents. I see it right there, but you can't. So I got time to wrap them. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. As always, Shout out to Chief Gunner J. King. This episode of Loud's Movie Files has been found.